Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that whenever and wherever you are on the globe in this very nanosecond that you are doing okay. And if you have suffered a major loss in your life, whether it was a massive material loss that many of us have gone through, some of us more than once or even twice, or if it's the loss of a job or a loved one or even a house, I want to let you guys know that it's very possible that you're going to see all this stuff again, whatever it is that you want, whatever you miss. When you finally do arrive on the other side, you'll be able to replace all of it. When you get there, you can build the house that you want, and you can remember all the things that you used to have. So if you had something that you really loved, you know, a special candy dish or a dress or a special hammer or set of tools passed down from generations, whatever it is, you can recreate it by manipulating the molecules in heaven. It's a higher dimension. It's easier to create stuff really fast. In one of Sylvia Browne's books, she talks about how there was something that this woman really missed from Earth, and she was crying and crying inconsolably because she missed this object. And Divine Mother actually went into human form and went and got the object for her directly. And I guess she had lost it during her life, and when she got to heaven, she was like, that's the only thing. And it was like something very sentimental. I can't remember what it was, you know, picture or teddy bear. I honestly can't remember what it was. I just remember the story of sometimes you could get the object back. It'll be the higher octave of that object, of course. So don't panic. I mean, most things, like, it's irritating when you lose, like, you know, $1,800 vacuum cleaners. You know, you could buy it again, and it takes a minute to get the money back together for that. But, you know, when you have massive material loss. But what you can't get back are, like, if you've written books and the only manuscript was in that storage unit. You know, I lost... If I consider that most of my intellectual properties would have pulled in $120,000 average, plus my books, which my book might have only pulled in like $10,000, but you know, plus all the things and hand-me-downs and books that were hundreds of years old, and I mean, I lost almost $2 million worth of stuff. I didn't pay that though; it's just what it was valued at. But it just hurt me, man, like so hard, just hurt me. And it didn't hurt me as much though, knowing that most of it I could get back in time. You know, I lost my grandmother's and grandfather's wedding dresser, their bedroom set. It was very high quality. It was from the 1940s. It was, wasn't really one of a kind, but it was pretty unique. And especially unique because it was theirs, and they were happily married until my grandpa died, and my grandma remained faithful until her death many, many, many years later, like decades later. You know, like 20 years she lived alone without him. And I don't know how she did it. To be honest, I don't know how she did it. And being absolutely in love like that and just, oh well, I'll never date again. When my other grandma lost my grandpa, I mean, within like a year she was married. It was crazy. And she was like, well, he didn't wait around for me. He died, so why should I wait around for him? I'm sure he'll understand. And the rest of us in the family were like, whoa, that was like mighty quick. And she's like, but at my age, I can't afford to wait. Well, am I going to wait 6 years? I mean, God, how am I going to look then? I'm already old, you know? And she's like, I already knew this guy since childhood. And that's when she married my grandpa, his name was Squirrel. His real name was Squirrel, Grandpa Squirrel. And he was very tiny bit Cherokee. He was whiter than me. But that one drop of blood of Cherokee, he used that to get into the Cherokee reservation and start participating in everything. And his sons followed him and did the same thing. And he wanted to keep the memory and the joy alive of being a Cherokee. It's the largest nation, Native American nation in the United States. It's its own country, basically, in the Arkansas and Oklahoma territories. You know, so that's pretty cool. My other grandpa that had passed away died. The one who died, he actually grew up on that reservation. So it wasn't even really a reservation. It's Cherokee territory. I keep saying reservation. It's like a different thing. It's legally a different thing than the other reservations. Less sad and less governmental regulations because it's like a nation within a nation legally. So there's a lot more power to the people in this situation. But, you know, but sometimes people move on. Sometimes they die. Sometimes you lose your stuff. And it's the memories, the memories that, you know, my friend told me recently that he lost everything. And he said he wakes up crying, just feels like he lost a part of himself because he accidentally, I guess, threw away pictures of his family. He didn't think about it. And he moved to another city and he was just like, I don't know. I don't even have a picture of my own father anymore. I'm like, yeah, join the club. I miss pictures of my children when they were babies, and I miss pictures of my mother, my grandfather, and grandmother. I have them etched in my mind. I don't know how long that's going to last. You know, I remember as much as I can, but it fades with each passing year just ever so slightly. And today is hard. It's a hard day. I found out that this happened to my friend. They lost all of his things because of some bad business partners, and he just had to move. But he was someone that I wanted to maybe pursue a romantic relationship with, potentially. I mean, I still haven't heard from my twin flame, and I've been waiting for years, and it didn't happen so yet. And I'm still hoping my twin comes to me, but, you know, I thought, well, in the meantime, I could date, I could whatever. Well, he left. I found out today, he's just like, I'm not coming back. I'm like, oh, great. You know, thanks for telling me. I'll cancel our $45 a plate Thanksgiving plans then. Overlooking a valley at sunset. We'll just forget all that. You know, it was like going to be kind of a romantic thing. I wanted him to meet my kid. He freaking left town. Is it me? Do I smell? I'm just kidding. I know it wasn't me, but he didn't really try to fight for me either. So, I mean, I know he's not my twin flame, but who knows? I mean, my near twin flame is gay. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I think my real twin flame isn't, but I you know, it's just, I feel like so much loss. Today was a day of loss. I mean, 9 years ago, my husband died. 9 years ago today. 2 years ago today, I moved to Ecuador with my kids. So now those two things are forever etched in our minds. Yeah. January 20th was the first day that we landed in Medellin, Colombia. Our very first day in South America was January 20th, 2016. Is that right? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Yeah. Or is it 2015? Geez, it just seems like I'm missing a year somehow. Yeah, I know I went January 2016. It seems like I've been down here for like 4 years though. Almost 4 years, I guess. It'll be 4 years in January. Yeah, it'll be 4 years in January. So just 2 months from now, it'll be 4 whole years that we've been gone from the States. And I mean, I lost a country. I lost a husband. We divorced and then he died. I mean, that was like a double loss in the same year. And, 4 years ago, I lost my material things. I'd spent a lifetime gathering stuff for my children. Things that, things that I wanted them to have that meant a lot. Things that were family heirlooms. I lost my family's heirlooms. I lost everything. My friend told me today, he's like, I just lost everything I owned. And it was bad enough that his family had stolen $1 million property away from him when his mother died, but now he lost his physical things. And I'm like, no, trust me, I know. I've lost everything that my family left to me. It wasn't much. But it was what I had because I wanted to keep it, because I wanted to remember them. And I felt like it was going to be, that beautiful wedding set I was going to hand down to my youngest son. My oldest didn't like it. Basically, he's like, it's not really my colors, Mom, Yeah, it doesn't suit a punk rocker. Light, golden honey brown isn't really like something that would be beset. A punk rocker needs like white and black and red. Okay, I get it. Even turquoise, I don't know. It's like probably not. But I was gonna give it to my youngest when he got married, and he's someone who does look forward to marriage and kids someday. And obviously not now. He's 17, but he talks about it once in a while. I was like, yeah, that is definitely what's in my future. It's like, Mom, I this is something that I definitely want to have in my future. Not now, though. I'm like, oh yeah, no, of course not. So I understand material loss, and I understand loss of people that you loved. I understand loss of relationships that you cherished above all other relationships, which sucks when it comes right down to it, And I know what it's like to lose the day-to-day contact with the son when he moves away to another country. That sucks big time. Usually when you become an empty nester, your kids are like in the same city or a few cities away, or at least, very least, the same country. My kid's on a whole nother continent. So, I was like, I understand loss more than you think, more than you know, for sure. There's a reason I'm moving to a foreign country where I know nobody. It's just I'm trying to start over, trying to reinvent myself over here, and was kind of looking for love, but that's not in the cards at this point for me. I don't know what to do. It's like, shit, man. Today is just one of those damn days, The good news is, though, one good, wonderful thing happened was that my son and I watched a show that he likes from France. It's in French, but they do have a part that's dubbed in English. And so we do this. Sometimes we'll watch it in that language and read the subtitles. And sometimes we'll read, if the actors that are dubbing it are good and it matches up, then and we'll watch that. But so we watched that together, and that was a bonding moment for an hour. And then he actually made cookies this morning, and I don't know. I felt really sick today. Actually, I felt sick all day. I was sneezing my head off all morning, and it was sweet that he made cookies. So, and he brought me a hot plate of fresh from the oven cookies, and it was just, oh my God, I don't know where he got this recipe, but oh my God, guys, the Nestle Toll House cookie recipe has nothing on this one. These are cookies that even after they cool off, they're still chewy and yet crispy. Oh, I don't know how he did it, but they're excellent cookies. Excellent. And it's so sweet. It was unbelievably sweet. But I ate the cookies with him. We hung out and talked for like a couple hours about this, that, and the other thing. It was really nice just to have that bonding moment. I gave him some money. He wanted to go grab a belt he found downtown. It was imported from the city of Cotacachi, which is known the world over for its leather working. And this belt was like so thick. He's like, look at this belt, Mom. It's so high quality. I'm going to have it the rest of my life. Like, this is an incredible belt. And it had a hand forged belt buckle on it that like looked like it was like heated up and hammered by hand. It's really incredible. He's like, look at this. This is like probably the finest workmanship I've ever seen in my life of any, clothing item. And so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, that is really neat. I like that. So, but he came home and he's like, look at my belt and this is so good. And I'm like, so awesome. And I just made coffee for us and he had a cup and I had a cup and we're hanging out. I'm like, I don't feel so good. I'm going to go lay down. When I came into my room to lay down, I was sneezing my head off and blowing my nose every few minutes. Had to take an allergy pill. And I thought maybe that was it. Maybe it's just an allergy pill. But my face looked kind of gray. My aura was a little bit gray this morning. And I thought, oh, great. Here we go again, right? I know I'm not going to die today. So if I do die, I'll come back. But it's like one of those, oh man, not another near-death experience. Come on, like it's the last thing I need. So I was like trying to take some moringa, trying to like get my blood flowing, something. And anyway, I was laying down and my son came in and he said something to me. He thought I was still awake, and I woke up with a start and I started shaking like crazy. He's like, are you okay? It's because I woke you up. I'm like, no, I woke up 2 seconds before you came home, but I don't know. I'm just really, really cold. And my feet were really hot. My head was really hot, like I had a fever, but the rest of my body was ice cold, like it was dead. Like from the neck to my ankles was ice cold and shivering uncontrollably. I don't know what the hell that is. I mean, really strange. It was really, really strange. And I slept for about 1 hour, and then I woke up at 4:44. And that was it. Yesterday, I took a nap in the afternoon, woke up at 3:33. I'm like, I guess tomorrow I'll wake up at 5:55, right? If this is a trend. It was very strange. It was like, what? Like, I don't know what's going on. I just really, really wasn't feeling good. And the rain was coming down pretty hard. There was thunder today, again with the booming thunder. And I didn't know if it was crystals booming from below, or if it, the crystals in the earth that had been making that noise all over the planet, or if it was the thunder. It was kind of hard for me to tell, but the lightning did strike outside my window today again, I think, or maybe that was yesterday. But I felt it and I heard it, and every time that I would just feel the tinglies throughout my electrical system, throughout my nerves. And I just was like on alert, but I was so tired I couldn't move. It was very weird. I've been having the tinnitus. I've been having, bouts here and there of confusion, like 10 minutes at a time. Thank God, not more than that. Losing my words once in a while. And I think it's just because I'm so tired. I've just been exhausted. Today I'm trying to get my near twin to do the show with me, and I know he got caught up doing something else, so we're gonna tentatively, he says he's tired and feeling nauseous at the moment, so I think I'm gonna do something else like tonight, and we're gonna have to put it off. He started advertising all over the internet that we're gonna do the show tonight, and then he got to feeling sick too. And me too. I mean, I made a wonderful dinner. My son and I cooked together. That was another bonding moment. We decided that we need to have more bonding moments instead of me cooking for him and then us only eating together. Like today, we cooked together and ate together and watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because we love Will Smith. You know, not that they're going to hear this at all, but, you know, a happy birthday to Willow, who had her birthday yesterday. She turned 19 and he threw a big party, and we watched the clip. We subscribed to the YouTube channel Will Smith, and Jaden just turned like 21 a couple days ago, or a couple months ago. I couldn't believe it. Like, his kids are really grown up. It's like, what? I guess I already knew that they were older than my kids. You know, his youngest is 2 years older and his oldest is 2 years older than my kids, and he's like 1 or 2 years older than me. Yeah, I grew up watching Will Smith. He's awesome. But so I was just like, oh yeah, well, shout out to them, even though they're probably never gonna hear this. But I don't know. He's someone of integrity, and I always had a lot of respect. You know, he's, in spite of some hard times, they kept, you know, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, they kept their marriage going. They kept their family going. They're really are close-knit family, and it makes me really, it really like warms the cockles of my heart, just to be honest. Like, there's so many families that just fall apart under the face of like the paparazzi and all that. And, you know, I wonder how I'm going to handle that. I feel like that's in my future a little bit, and I just feel like, well, I think I could handle it, but you know, I would handle it different than most people, I think. But, you know, it doesn't bug me, the idea of it, as much as some people, you know. Anyway, I don't know. It's just speculative anyway. I say that now, but chances are I'm probably going to die in Ecuador by myself, you know, probably die alone. It's just, I feel, it's just, I don't really think I'm going to have a spectacular ending, or that anyone will even know, or, you know, I mean, I won't say people won't care. I'll have a few people that care, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to keep the show going as long as possible, obviously, and I'm going to keep everything in my life going, spinning the plates as much as I possibly can, and, you know, hopefully something good will come out of it. You know, I'm hoping for the best. I'm expecting the best, planning for the best, but I also have a backup contingency plan in case the worst happens. And it's not a very good contingency plan. You know, I just don't really, you know, I feel like things have to unfold a little bit more before I could see the end of this tunnel. You know, I just hope it's the right tunnel, you know what I mean? Oh, go towards the light. Oh, damn, crap, that was a train. You know, I don't know. It's like, I hope, though. I just hope. I keep hoping. Hope springs eternal. I feel like a damn fool every day that I have hope, and it was unsubstantiated. You know, I mean, I've been single for 9 years. I've had boyfriends come and go, but nothing that stuck, nothing that I could really write home about. I mean, the one person I felt like was going to definitely go somewhere was with my near twin, and, you know, his excuses were stupid. But I was hoping to be with a brunette. I was hoping to be with someone thinner. I was hoping she would be taller. I was hoping that she wouldn't have kids. We'd start a family together and start fresh. So he went ahead and married one of my feminine divine counterparts, which I think is his twin flame. So I am happy for him, but it's hilarious that she is taller than me. I will give her that. She also looks like she could be a cousin of mine. She's got red hair. And she is not skinny at all, not even thin, not even slender. Any of those words do not describe her. She's not fat, but looks, at least in pictures, quite a bit bigger than me, or maybe the same as me. I'm not fat. She's not fat, but she's not what he was describing he wanted. I mean, you never really end up with what exactly you think you want anyway, I think. But, I mean, she's okay looking. She seems like a sweet person, and she's got several kids from a past marriage, and it's like hilarious to me, though. It's like, it's like your best laid plans, like, sure. We all want to marry someone that looks like Fabio, that has a mind of Anthony Robbins, right? In the heart of, like, maybe, I don't know, the Dalai Lama, the spiritual heart of Dalai Lama, and but the comedic timing and sense of humor is, say, a Robin Williams. And when they're angry and cynical, they're hilarious, like Hunter S. Thompson. I mean, I don't know. It's like we all want things about, like we have our ideal person we create in our mind, and we never find that person. But I feel like if you find someone who has enough in common with you, and you could stand to look at their face, and you're not going to wake up in the morning and go, ugh, and just have to look away. I mean, obviously, to me at least, looks do matter quite a bit. Because it's like, I can't, I don't know, am I shallow? Maybe. Sure, maybe. Do I want a fat, ugly, bald, hairy dude? Absolutely freaking not. I don't. Sorry, I'm shallow if that's the case. Do I mind a guy going bald or is bald? No, I married 2 bald men in a row. It's not that. They were good looking men, though. But I don't know, my son and I were talking about it. He's like, yeah, I feel shallow to admit it, but I do want a good-looking woman. I'm like, well, you can't just have a barf bucket next to the bed because they're so ugly, but hey, at least you're woke. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work out. That doesn't work out. I have dated people that weren't all that good-looking, and I didn't notice until months after I met them. I have face amnesia, so it's like, for me, someone has to be good-looking on a spiritual level, but they have to be good-looking on a good-looking level, too. I mean, they have to be able to turn my head the first time, like, oh, But, I mean, I'm not, like, so quote-unquote woke that I could just go date any ugly old lump of clay that comes my way. I've met some people like that, like their mentality, their personality is just like a lump of clay. They don't have 2 brain cells to rub together, and they just do their normal mundane job, and they want the same routine day in and day out for 7 days a week for the rest of their life. And I'm like, no, thank you. I'd just rather be alone if that was the case. I need someone exciting, someone who's going to be fun and loving and sweet, and where we could have like 5 or 6 or 10 activities we do together on a day-to-day basis in the house or outside the house, apart from the bedroom. I just need that. I need that mental constant stimulation, the ADHD, ADD thing. And then the autism thing. Like, I don't want a lot of noise around me, but I do sometimes like rock concerts, and I do like to be at Disneyland, once in a while. And sometimes I have to take downtime, when I go into a place like that, I have to kind of put my head down on a table, cover my ears, and sit there for like an hour, and then I'm good to go for the rest of the day. I love Disneyland. They have like the island in the center. You just take a raft over to the central island, and you go into one of the fake caves they made, and you can just sit in the cave for like an hour. It's like, yeah. But I don't know. Today's been a day of loss. I think that if you guys are going through a loss, or you've contemplated it lately, just know that you're going to get everything back. You're going to get your things back, your material items back if you want them. You're going to get, like my $1,800 vacuum I don't need in heavens. There's no dirt, right? But I had another little tabletop thing that made the whole house smell great. And it's like, I freaking miss that. You get it free when you buy the $1,800 vacuum. or you can find it on the internet because most people don't appreciate having it. But still it's like $20-$30 and it's still like such an annoying thing. Like I don't have that. Stupid things like that. My sexy red dress that I bought, and I wanted to do a Christmas card with my kids, and we ended up homeless. And I'm like, I feel really freaking stupid doing a Christmas card in a year in which we're homeless in the car. I just feel like, yeah, here's my sexy, designer dress, and we're going to be mailing it out of our car, like, that we live in. Like, it just didn't feel right that year. And I never wore it. I never, ever wore it. And I wanted to wear it to my rehearsal dinner someday. It's like I have these, like, plans or ideas of my future, and then they just don't frickin' pan out. But I'm thinking about a different future now, and I'm trying to forge my way through my life. What am I going to do for the second half of my life, and with who? And if I'm alone, how am I going to stand it? I guess with a lot of freaking Benadryl and a cat, maybe a horse. My kid has been talking about how he really wants a horse. He's like, oh, Mom, can we buy a horse? I'm like, you know what? I know a market where we can go buy a horse, actually. And we could go find a horse. We could go find maybe a falcon. We can learn how to be falconers. We'll never be without meat. The falcon, he's like, yeah, but what if we train it to get a rabbit and it goes and gets it a rat? I'm like, well, then we'll let him eat the rat. We've thought about, like, maybe we want to live in the countryside and have a bunch of animals and never leave. Just stay with the animals. Or maybe we don't want to get any animals yet and still travel the world and come back. Maybe we can buy land here and then we'll come back and live forever. But I don't know. I have to determine, where do I want to live for the rest of my life if I'm going to be alone? And how am I going to pass the time in a way that I don't want to shoot my brains out every day? That's like pretty much the big one. Not that that's how I would kill myself, because gross, ew, Virgo, would never do that. But still, like, how do I live in a way that I could feel satisfied without somebody? Like, we try to make friends here, and a lot of the people here in the Gringo community are just so old, and my son's like, dude, like, I don't want to, Mom, honestly, I don't want to go hang out with all the old people all the time. It's like, do I really need to discuss the politics of the frickin' Alamo again? And he said that to me. I laughed so hard. I was like, dude, that was hilarious. He like made a comedy routine in his mind about this for when we were going to have this discussion. I thought that was hilarious. It's like, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I wish that more young families would come and, have a more vibrant and alive Gringo community, although they're very active. But it's really hard when you meet a group of people that you've already met and they don't freaking remember you. And it's like, I know they don't have face amnesia. They just have Alzheimer's or whatever, old-timers disease, or, they're not all senile, most of the people I've met, but they just seem like, it's like, how could you forget me? I know I'm a memorable person. I have like long red hair down to my butt. Like, how could you not remember that? When every other Gringo here has short white hair. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a couple people who have dyed black hair or gray and black hair, but I met one woman who dyes her hair pale yellow. Or it might be her natural hair color. I can't think of another Gringo other than her. I did meet a Gringo who dyes her hair like with a purple blue rinse. You know what I mean? Have you ever sat in church and look at the heads of the little old ladies and it's like, why is her hair so purple? Why is her hair blue? Is it supposed to be that way? How come her hair is pink like cotton candy? I remember when my friend Freddie, and he was one of my best friends when I was in church as a kid, and he pointed that out to me, And I mean, I swear to God, for months after, every time I went to church, I was like laughing my head off. I was trying so hard. I had to keep putting my face on my sleeve like this. Like, I just couldn't laugh. It was insane. It was so funny. I was like, and I was like, dude, it's like, and it's like, well, if she's a punk rocker, why is her hairstyle like that? I was like, oh my God. Is she a punk rocker? Like, for real? Like, how come it's not a purple mohawk? Like, that would have been cool, but yeah, I don't want to have to discuss the politics of the Alamo. I don't know, you guys. It's just been weird. Like, today, the whole freaking everything has just been really weird. Like, for days, for weeks. And I've gotten onto a couple shows that are on YouTube. They're like mine. And they're all like, you have to really work hard to ascend. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I've come across this like 3 times in the past week. It's like, dude, did you not get the memo? October 19th was the day. We all anchored into the 5th. And people are still trying to hawk their books and their, get my program for $295 on sale right now to learn how to go into the 5th dimension. You don't want to be left behind. Like, seriously, I heard a lady hawking her stuff like that today. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's not my fault you live in Mount Shasta where a Coca-Cola costs $53. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of pissing me off. It's like, dude, I teach this stuff for free. We've already moved into the 5th dimension. We are already here. We have already ascended. Now our goal is to clear away all of our remnants of the 3D past. That's it. And embrace the 5D now. And the 5D future. That's it. That's all we got to do now. And and she's like, well, if you get my program, we can help to change your DNA so that you can ascend. And I'm like, dude, really? Because A, it happens automatically. B, it's already happened. C, we've already ascended and it's already happened. Why? It's like she's behind the times. And I was like absolutely shocked about it. Like, no, we're already here. We're here. Look at the sky. Look at the signs. Look at your hands. Look under a microscope. Do the app that it magnifies stuff 50 times. Go out in the sunshine. Put your hand underneath the sunshine and magnify your skin 50 times. Look at the rainbow crystals. It looks like you put a bunch of moisturizer on and you didn't. Guess what, babe? You are in the 5th dimension. You've done the work. You're here now. You're fine. You did it. Don't let these people shame you into thinking that you didn't or trick you into buying a $300 program to tell you something that you've already done. That would be almost as ridiculous if someone tried to sell you a book on how to potty train and learn how to dress yourself when you're like in your 20s. That's ridiculous. Sorry, I did that 18 years ago. Thank you. It's like, it's just, that's how it feels like to me. It feels like there's a lot of people that are going around preaching and prodding the same crap. They're peddling their wares that were so last year, that's so 3D, and they're not able to keep up with the times, or they're just trying to peddle their stuff to make money. And, the masses don't know. So, hey, I'm sorry. I'm always telling you guys the truth. And if I come out with the truth and the truth ends up to not be quite the truth later, or if it changes, I'm going to tell you. If I screw up, I'm going to tell you. And if it ends up being changing a week later, I'm going to be like, hey, guess what? Remember when I said that last week? Well, guess what? We're changed now. Everything's good. Things are different. Yeah, I keep hopping timelines. The most annoying thing is when you hop timelines and can't find your frickin' weed. Oh my God, am I in a timeline where I'm sober? Oh my God, kill me now. That's like the most annoying one. If I hop a timeline again, I hope it's a timeline in which I didn't break my pendulum. I'm so irritated. I was going to go with my son today and I couldn't. I was having this weird hot foot, hot head, cold body scenario going on. I'm sneezing my head off and blowing my nose every 5 minutes. I was like, am I sick? I think I'm sick. I'm not sure. Am I sick? It was like questioning it. Ask my higher self. No, you're not sick. Well, is this allergies? No, it's not allergy. Then why am I sneezing my head off? Is it the dust in my room? I keep dusting my room. That's not it. Like, I don't know. It's like so freaky. I mean, I ate an English muffin. Is it the wheat in the English muffin? No, it's not. My near twin flame sent me a picture where the clock that had been set correctly because of the time change said 7:10, and on the news they kept talking about how it was 6:10, and he's like, I'm time traveling or something. Like, what the hell is actually happening? This is happening right now. He sent it to me at like 7:15, like 5 minutes after it happened. He's like, what the hell? What the hell is happening right now? Like, I don't know. Things are so strange. So strange. And this lady who's peddling her wares is like, well, when we get to the fifth dimension, we won't have time anymore. It's like, oh, really? We've been in the fifth dimension for 1 month and 2 days, 1 month and 1 day. And guess what? We still have to go to work. Unfortunately, still have to make and pay money. We still have to set our watches. I don't wear a watch, but clocks, electronics, whatever. That's just this weird, erroneous, like airy-fairy, as soon as we get in the fifth dimension, there's going to be unicorns everywhere and they'll be shitting everywhere, but hey, it'll be rainbow sherbet, so we'll be fine. Don't believe all the hype because no one knows, right? Like, no one knows what it's going to be like till we get there. And guess what? We got here. And it's like, oh, okay, well, the sky is prettier. I'm starting to manifest things quicker. Things are sorting themselves out the way they need to be sorted, even if I don't like it. Things are being sorted out much more rapidly than before. So there's that. Things that I need are being brought to me without my having to ask. Like, I was looking for a good mineral supplement, walked in the grocery store and, oh my God, moringa. Cool. Grabbed it. I found out later it had the minerals I needed. Lovely. Thank you, universe. That's a bonus. I go to bed with positive emotions. I listen to the pineal gland thing today. Sometimes I listen to the affirmations that connect me with my higher self and that help me feel love for myself and love for my world, and which I do anyway. I love you guys. I love myself. Love my kids. Love my friends. Most of my friends are now far away. I don't really have anyone in town anymore. My one friend that I felt like I really could connect with just left like a week ago, I guess, and didn't really tell me. So just people have their own crap going on. At least he's still talking to me. We were talking every single day, and then after about a week, he just left. I'm like, dude, now he's talking about going to another country, and I'm like, great. So I'm gonna have to find a horse or a cat or a llama to be my companion. But not a vicuña. I can't run that fast. Sneak up on a vicuña, throw a bag over its head, and shave it. I just can't. Just can't do that. But I don't know, guys. I hope that, so whenever and wherever you are in the world, I hope that you're able to get through the losses and understand that it's not the last time you're going to see that person, the circumstance, those things, unless you don't want to. If you don't want to, then hey, c'est la vie and sayonara. But if you do, you will. You'll get everything back. What comes around goes around. Everything comes back around. And even when people leave your life like that, like what just happened, with my friend leaving, I know that the wagons always circle back around. And people always come back around. And it's always funny to me. It's like when people that try to start a romance with you, and then they make a number of excuses that they don't want whatever, and then like a month or a year later they come back to you, and it's like, you had your chance and you kabloozed it. Sorry, buddy. Like, I don't have an interest anymore, or I don't know if I would. We'd have to start over again from scratch, or I'm already with somebody now. Oh well, you snooze, you lose, buddy. But I have my ex from Mexico. No, he wasn't even an ex. It was just someone I dated for a couple months. And he has been asking me for years to come back to Mexico and be with him. And I'm like, been there, done that, over it. I told you I wasn't going to be there very long. And finally he sent me a picture of him with this really, really beautiful woman. And I'm like, I'm so happy for you guys. That's so amazing. Maybe you'll marry her. You guys will have adorable babies. That'll be awesome. Good for you. And he got so mad he stopped writing me. He's just trying to make me jealous, and to make me jealous made me happy for him, which is like an appropriate response, right? It's an adult response, like, oh, I'm so happy. I want people to be happy, If I'm not your one, and I know who my one is, at least I've seen his face and smelled his whiskey breath a few days ago. It feels to me like my one has been very sad lately. My twin, I feel his sadness. I feel his just kind of his disappointment at life and his sadness. And I just keep thinking, God, just come into my life and, rescue yourself first. I'll rescue myself first, which I've already done. But when we get together, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to just laugh and enjoy life and forget all the crap that happened before and live from today forward, start new, refresh, and reinvent yourself. That's what we all have to do. You lose everything? Good. Start over. Maybe you didn't really need that ugly yellow couch. Maybe it's time for a black leather couch, or maybe it's time for a white leather couch. Maybe you need to elevate your style anyway. Maybe you're living in a city that was kind of crappy, and your couch had a hole in it, and your dog had peed on it when he was a puppy, and maybe you didn't need it anyway. Maybe what you have waiting for you is a penthouse overlooking the ocean with all white furniture and beautiful art. Maybe that's what's in your future, Maybe you're going to open up a surfing business or a sailboat business on a lake, or maybe, you never know what your future holds. So don't worry about it if you do lose your stuff. It's all coming back, and then your life is going to reinvent itself. The universe will bring you better stuff. And you can change your life and your everything in a good way, As far as heartmath.org, Schumann Resonance for the 6 places on Earth, it's another kabloosit. They just don't even have the power or something. I don't know. I'm beginning to think that this is in California and it was affected by the fires. I don't know. But there's absolutely nothing. It just says, sorry. Data unavailable or hate now temporarily. The temporarily has been 3 days now, guys, or 4 days. Disclosurenews.it. Here's their report. 3rd day of total calm. That's it. Power 9 Hertz frequency on the Schumann Resonance scale. Bada boom, bada bing. That's it. So there we go. Lesson 163 in A Course in Miracles today. It's what we're on for the Foundation of Inner Peace lesson. ACIM.org if you want to go check it out yourself. This is it. There is no death. The Son of God is free. There's no death. The Son of God is free. Who's the Son of God? You, me, all of us. Death is a thought that takes on many forms, often unrecognized. It may appear as sadness, fear, anxiety, or doubt, as anger, faithlessness, or lack of trust, concern for bodies, envy, and all forms in which the wish to be as you are not may come to tempt you. All the forms in which the wish to be as you are not may come to tempt you. Yeah, like, I wish I was younger, wish I was thinner, Yeah, that comes to tempt you with the idea of death. Yeah, it's true. All such thoughts are but reflections of the worshipping of death as a savior and giver of release. Oh, but there's no such thing as death. We're so screwed. Okay, if that's how we look at it. All right, and then the second paragraph in this lesson is, embodiment of fear, the host of sin, God of the guilty and the Lord of all illusions and deceptions, does the thought of death seem mighty. For it seems to hold all living things within its withered hand. All hopes and wishes in its blighting grasp, all goals perceived but in its sightless eyes. The frail, the helpless, and the sick bow down before its image, thinking it alone is real, inevitable, worthy of their trust, for it alone will surely come. All things but death are seen to be unsure, too quickly lost, however hard to gain, uncertain in their outcome, apt to fail the hopes they once engendered, and to leave the taste of dust and ashes in their wake, in place of aspirations and of dreams. But death is counted on, for it will come with certain footsteps when the time has come for its arrival. It will never fail to take all life as hostage to itself. And it goes on and on, talking about, would you bow down to the idol of this? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know about you guys. I'm not afraid of death. I've already died 5 times. Not afraid of it. Harry comes and talks to me all the time. He's the angel of death currently. I call him Harry. Don't know if it's his name or not. That's what I say, though. I see him in my room. Oh, Harry, you here to take me? I don't want to go. I'll go with you later. I'm going to live it out another 50 years to see what other problems humans could get themselves into and out of. I really want to see what's next. I want to see AI. I want to see the aliens land. It's a lot of crap I want to see happen. So as long as I can, I'm going to stay here. And I don't want to lament the loss of things any longer, or people. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on now. I hope you guys are good with that, and I hope this was a good enough introduction. I hope it helped you in some way, shape, or form. I mean, we're going to get it all back, but right now, when we lose the things, we're going to get things that are better, or experiences that are better, because experiences are more important than things anyway, and love is the most important thing in the whole universe. So, you know, there it is. I don't know what I'm going to do for the second half, so it's going to be a surprise. All right, this is let's see. I think it is Wednesday. I want to make sure. Like, God, I slept a lot today. Oh, whoa, that's weird. Whoa. Oh, I'm freaking out. I looked on my computer just now and it said Wednesday. Then I looked on my computer a second time and it said Thursday. I mean, just like that, I time traveled. Whoa. I'm like, wait a minute, is today Tuesday? And what? I got like super confused there for a second because it's 2:15 a.m. here and I know I'm late. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to be a slight bit late tonight. But Thursday is what it should say because I thought it was Wednesday. This is Wednesday's show and it's still technically Wednesday in California. So that's like why I always do it like that. But anyway, this is Wacky Weird Wednesday. So let's just call it grab bag. Oh my God, you guys remember grab bags? Or is it just me? My stepmom took me to everywhere where they had grab bags for $1 and $5. And you're like, ooh, it's exciting. It's a puzzle. It's a mystery. You open it, you're like, what the flock is this? It's like a green straw. That's not worth a frickin' $1. It's like a pipe cleaner, a straw, a penny from 1949, and like, I think an empty juice box, or sometimes the juice was still in it. But I mean, grab bags were never freaking good when I was a kid. I'm like, what the hell? Why do you keep bringing me these weird places of grab bags? Anyways, it is Grab Bag Wednesday. Well, I promise I'll give you something hopefully better than a old dirty used pipe cleaner and an old penny from 1949, a hot green straw, and an empty juice box. I hope that the rest of the show will be better than those things. When I come back after this. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you. Okay, guys, for your Grab Bag Wednesday, the Andromedan 5 showed up, and they wanted to talk to you guys today. I don't know what about. Grab Bag Wednesday, woohoo! So, my near twin flame got kind of sick tonight, so please say prayers for Jude. He coughed tonight. I don't even know if he was able to make his Starseed Perspective episode or not tonight, but anyway, my love goes out to you, Jude. I hope you're feeling better. All right, guys, as I've mentioned before, I am an indirect channel, which means I do not allow beings to take over my body. I just get the EBGBs about that. I can't take it, so I do an indirect channeling via telepathy. So I use my psychic gifts to get the message across. Occasionally they'll take a word or phrase or an idea and just, pluck it right out of my brain or subconscious. And so it sounds like I'm making it up. And if I hear something like that, I ask. I'm always constantly finger testing because I want to make certain that this is real coming from me. I don't want it to come from my brain or my subconscious mind. I want it to be from the beings I'm supposedly channeling, right? So I'm constantly asking. I'm doing muscle testing while I'm channeling. And the other thing is, if you hear me moving around a lot, sometimes the beings that I'm channeling want me to do the movements of light language. So it's kind of light movement. I don't know. Light exercises. It is light exercises. But I don't know what to call it really. But it's kind of like the equivalent of light language. And a lot of times the Andromedans and all the beings I channel rather will come with their message, but also light codes for you to download, and it will help upgrade your everything, like upgrade your chakras, your aura, increase the power of your DNA that has reconnected already, all that stuff. So, I don't know what effect it will have on you, but I know you'll feel better at the end of it. I know I always do. So, well, I don't know. I guess that's it. I've already connected with them. I'm going to put the phone down. I'm already feeling the heat of they're already here, and I'm already connected. I'm just getting really, like, hot. Like, oh, in a minute, I'm going to probably have to take off my sweatshirt. I'm like, seriously, I'm like starting to sweat already. This happens every time. It's so fun. It's so crazy. All right, I'm going to put the phone down, and we're going to start to channel right now. I'm rolling up my sleeves first, and we'll see what happens after that. Okay. All right, I'm connected to you guys, the Andromedan 5. Yes. All right, go ahead and speak to us about whatever you wish. I'm going to touch my forehead first and say, Ki Ah Sha, Ki Ah Sha, Ki Ah Sha. That helps me get in touch with anything that they want to show me picture-wise. That opens up your third eye when you say those words and touch your forehead. So, okay, welcome, Andromedan 5, including Puata, see? Or yes, okay, Puata is the man that I went to Andromedan and in Andromeda and in my time a couple months ago, and in their time 25 years ago, and started a romance with them. I've been there several times, and I lived for 5 years at a time with him, and I'll come back here in the same night. So he says in very much many ways, I think I'm your longest relationship. Yeah, you definitely are. Definitely. It's pretty cool, actually. All right, guys, go ahead. Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. Oh, greetings. It is so great for us to be here once again with you, sharing with you all. We love all of you so much. The humans are basically some of our favorite people in the universe. You have your troubles and your trials and your consternations and your complexities. And we admire you through the fight and the struggle of all the various things that you've had to go through in the third dimension. That you would choose to be born there and then choose it again and again sometimes is beyond our comprehension as to why. But nevertheless, we have a great deal of respect and admiration for all of you. Especially now that you've gone through the ascension and that energy was so hard and it continues. We see that it continues to be hard on you, and the fact that you are persevering in spite of all odds, and you're doing it without complaining too much. We noticed that Elena, they're like pointing to me, complains of being hot a lot. There's a lot of energy coming through. There's a lot of strangeness and mental disclarity and a lot of discombobulation and jumbling of the minds and of trying to get communication with others when everyone is going through this misclarity, and the fact that the jumbling of the minds and the just not getting things together, not coordinating when you plan to coordinate, and just we see the struggle. And it seems to be a daily struggle. We know about the Mercury retrograde. We know about the astrological aspects of this, but we see you struggling like day to day to day. And we have so much admiration that you chose to come into this world that would be so frustrating. You know, most spirits are terrified of ever being incarnate in the third dimension, let alone being in the third dimension and then raising up to the fifth dimension while still being incarnate. It's spectacular. It's incredible that this is what you chose. And we see a lot of you struggling and regretting your choice, but we still have a great deal of admiration and respect for you. Another thing that we've been observing, not only in what Elena spoke of tonight, but also what we've witnessed other people. We have had interactions with other people around the globe, and the common theme during this time is of loss. Loss of the material things or people. Loss of the relationships, or loss of their life, or at least loss of their body. Their life always shall be lived. As you know, we don't die as souls. Keep that in mind always. You never die. No one ever dies. It's one of the biggest lies. You can never die. But we have our methods that we've spoken of before, having, instead of a couple of 2 people, we have a couple of 4 people. We have 4 people in a relationship because of the loss. It happens on our world too. It's more conscious. Someone's ready to go, they'll go. Their higher guidance tells them it's time and they go. And then we're left with 3 people in a relationship instead of just 1. But we have other ways to deal with it. We take every loss and we turn it into a celebration. If someone dies, it becomes a celebration of life. If you lose things, it is a celebration and joy of the energy of freedom. You see, we tried to have a different spin on it, a different idea, a different way of looking at something. You could look at anything in your world and have a negative idea about it. You can look at something and say it's the opposite. You can always have a different viewpoint or perspective. For some of you, when a woman wears shorts and her legs are showing, you find that very beautiful because the legs are beautiful. The woman is beautiful. She feels free and open. And yet in some of your cultures on your planet, that is considered to be a sin and very disrespectful. And so therefore you have a completely different perspective, do you not? So you can take anything in your world and it's either wonderful or horrible depending on your perspective. Take ice cream, for example. For some of you, it is a comfort food that you eat when you're sad. For some of you, it is something that's only shared with others during happy times, parties, celebrations, such as birthdays or promotions. And it represents a time in your life in which you're very, very happy. And for some of you, it represents an extremely horrible time because you're lactose intolerant. So we have a very great deal of ways that we could look at every single thing in your life. And so we're here to talk about this massive energy of grief and loss that we've seen so often on your planet in the past several years. You look at the fires as being destructive and horrible. We see them as that as well because we fear for your lives and we're saddened by the energy of loss and devastation that it's causing many of you. But then we also look at it as a cleansing and a way to clear the landscape and start over. And new beginnings sometimes are extremely hard. When you are born into the world that you were born into, especially when it's 3D, that was an extremely hard beginning for you also. But you made it. You thrived. You brought yourself up. Your parents brought you up. And you became an adult. Most of you are adults listening to this. And some of you are still teenagers and you're almost adults. You're on your way. Being born into a third dimensional world is one of the hardest things a spirit could ever possibly do. Being born into a fifth dimensional world, it can have its hard moments, but overall it's a much more pleasant space to be in. So we'd like to draw your attention now to the fact that you are in a much more pleasant space to be in. You're in a much easier world. You have to forget the nightmares and the sadness and the grief and the loss of jobs and the loss of money and income and material goods. You're moving into a world in which you're going to need less material objects and more experiences with others that you love. You're going to bring to you the material objects that you need rather quickly and easily. And whatever it is that you get will be loved and appreciated, but not to the extent that it was in the 3D world. You're going to be very much brought into alignment with your highest, best self, your highest good, your higher self. And as this alignment occurs, you're going to turn more inward for your validation. You'll never look to others for validation any longer, which is going to be very helpful for most of you. All of you, I suspect, actually. We suspect. But you're going to also, while you're looking inward for validation, you're going to look outward, not for the material items and the money and the hot cars or whatever. You're going to see the joys and the beauties that you can share with your loved ones. You're going to embrace your relationships with other people in a much more elegant way. You're going to feel absolutely grateful that you have them there with you in your world in that moment. It might be an expensive bottle of wine or a cheap bottle of wine. Or maybe you don't drink wine and you're just going to drink water together. Or tea. It's not going to be important what you drink, because the fact that you're drinking it with someone and you're sharing the space and the energy of a similar purpose activity, such as eating together, doing a puzzle or playing a game together, walking on a trail and enjoying nature together. That's going to be the wave of the future. That is what we see in humanity as the new priority. Spending time together in a group of friends, mostly, or with one or two friends. And we don't quite see your world embracing the idea of coupling up, thrupling up, or quadrupling up. Not the way we do. We don't see that you're going to live 4 adults to a house to share expenses, life, and love. Not the way we do in our society. But we do know that a lot of you have considered this idea and taken this idea and at least tossed it around in your mind to figure out if it's something you would like to do. And we are grateful for your open-mindedness, at least in considering this as an option for you. We're not telling you how to live your lives, whether you want to do it our way or not. That's not up to us. That's not really any of our concern. We just wanted to bring you a different viewpoint on what was a possibility. When you get stuck inside your box, you can only see a couple options. But when you bust out of the box and you see not just the house the box is in, but the field the house stands in, and you see the field of possibilities, what happens is you're able to relinquish your former thoughts of what should or should not be, and you're able to embrace the nothingness, the field of possibilities upon which all possibilities exist simultaneously, and none exist simultaneously but that of true love and true peace. You are able to choose then what is right for you when you explore your heart in an energy of an open space where there are a field of possibilities versus one or two. A lot of you think that your choice is to be single or in a relationship. And usually you consider the relationship to be somebody of the opposite sex. But a lot of you are awake and you see that you don't have to be gender conformative and you don't have to be heteronormative. You can love anybody you love. You don't have to be single or in a relationship. You don't have to be celibate. You don't have to sleep around. You don't have to fit in the boxes that other people put you in or that you put yourself in. You can do whatever you wish. Maybe this is the year you partner with yourself. We did see that idea, self-partnership, in Elena's head. We did see that. We think it's fantastic. That might be your path for this year. Next year, maybe you will be in a relationship with 2 other people or 3 other people all together at once. Or maybe you'll couple up with someone of the same gender or someone with both genders. If you open your mind to the field of possibilities, you won't be standing in a box any longer. You'll be standing in a field. And that field could have millions of colored flowers in it. Beautiful, colorful, scented so sweetly. And everywhere you look, there's a different idea, a different shape, a different energy, something different. This isn't only to do with relationships, that was our example, but with the rest of your life. Maybe you see yourself as buying a house and settling down and living there forever, but you could just as easily buy a sailboat, pick up a breeze, and travel on the wind to new lands, and every day meet new people from new lands, if that was your thing. Our biggest message and takeaway today is that we wish for you to keep your mind open to all the possibilities in the field of all possibilities. Keep yourself open. Tell the universe, I am open for something today that will make me feel delighted. I am open for something today that will show me how loved I am by reminding me how much I love myself. Keep your mind open to new friendships, new business or career opportunities. Keep yourself open to receiving more money. Instead of complaining you don't have enough, open your mind to receiving more. Open your mind to receiving more friendships, more love, more joy and happiness than you can imagine. Open yourself up to the possibility that today is the day you bring the joy, love, peace, and prosperity to another. Open your mind to the idea that today is the day you'll rescue a little animal, or that you'll sing a song to a blind person who's going to be so uplifted that they change somebody else's life, and so on and so on. Maybe today's the day you're going to adopt a new parakeet and have a little friend in your home. Keep yourself open to all possibilities. Don't stand in a box in a house, but rather stand in the field of all possibilities. That's pretty much our message today. If you wish for us to show up and try to take us to your world, take you to our world, we will do so in your dream time. Ask us to say, Andromedans, please take me to your world. We will assess you, your situation, with your mental capacity to handle such a thing. But the majority of you, the greater majority of you, are able to handle such a thing, and we would be happy to come pick you up and put you up in a house and feed and clothe and shelter you. You can live a few weeks or a few months or several years with us, whatever you desire. And when we bring you back, only a couple hours will have passed in your world. This is why we pick people up in their sleep. When they're looking for something more in a different perspective, we find that our form of retreats are extremely long in our years, in our time. And it gives you a complete change of perspective, and it opens your heart to new styles and types of loving and new possibilities. It opens your mind to new ideas, and our people are so friendly that you can talk to anyone about anything, and we will always offer our insights, our love and support. So if you come to our world, to our planet, in our galaxy, you're going to come back home to your place, to your world, to your home and your planet and galaxy, with a whole nother set of ideas. You will feel well rested and loved, because we do love you. If you come and give us an opportunity to know and love you as our friend, as our brethren for the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years, you're going to go back to your world with a much different perspective. So, we invite you to invite us into your world and life, and ask us when it is your time to come visit. Make sure that you're maybe sleeping alone that night, or that your loved one that you're sleeping next to is a sound sleeper. To them, you will appear as if you're sleeping. Your body will still be there. It's your spirit that flies with us, because we're in a higher dimension. We're in the 7th dimension. And we can bring you right back with a fresh perspective of what the field of possibilities for you consists of. Our colors, our world, our weather, our politics, everything is different in our world. And even though we do things the way that we do them, we still keep our minds open to our field of possibilities. That's how we live our life. And it makes us very happy and very satisfied. And that is what we wish for you. We see your world, we see the 3D world changing and drifting away, the memories and what you were holding on to. It's fading away, and we're really happy to see that, because the more you embrace in your new world, in your new 5D, fifth dimensional world, the faster you're going to grow and accelerate and learn. In time, you're going to learn how to fly, how to create food from your mind, how to bleep yourself in and out of existence, in and out of where you want to be in a matter of seconds. It's great fun to have these powers, and they're on their way to you as well. We see it. We see that it's in Elena's mind. She's thinking about this a lot. And we're glad to see it, because it opened your mind to new possibilities. In the world of the field of all possibilities exists a place in which you can fly. You can leave the ground. You can go anywhere you want without paying for a travel ticket of one sort or another. We wish you luck on your journey. We are here with you, always, always, always on this journey. We are fascinated by what you're going through in your world. We are so excited for you. We love you so much. And we're rooting for you every day. We're just like, yes. When we see even the smallest of victories, even if you try to imagine up a cup of coffee being given to you, paid for by somebody else, even those little tiny victories like that, those are gold for us, because we see the happiness that flows over everybody in that vicinity when something good happens. Running into somebody in a chance meeting, and you both have so much to say to each other, and you're so filled with joy and overbrimming with happiness and enthusiasm. We live for moments like that on your earth, and we see that these moments have increased and will continue to increase. Look for the possibilities. Look for the endlessness of those possibilities. Look for the synchronicities, and look at how the universe orchestrates everything so it all ends up in your favor. We are the Andromedan 5. It has been fantastic to connect with you. We love all of you. We love all of humanity, and we shall return time and time again. Until next time, thank you for having us in your world this evening. They're bowing to me. I'm bowing to them. I love the Andromedans. They are amazing. All right, guys, I'm tired. I wanted to ask, please send me your holiday miracle stories, regardless of the religion or spirituality. Miracles that have occurred to you around this time of year, November, December. I want to share them in a special Christmas episode that doesn't really have to do 100% with Christmas itself. Could do a Diwali or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. I want to hear the miracle stories, Santa Claus stories specifically, if you've got them. All right. Thank you for being on the Ascension journey with me. I love each and every one of you. I'm so glad to have you as my listeners. A lot of you are becoming friends, so thank you for that. And, well, that's it. That's all she wrote. I'll be back tomorrow with all unique and original programming, just like always. But until then, I am signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Do you ever wish you could look into the next chapter in your book of life and see what's coming next? What does the universe have in store for you? I can help you with that. I will give you a Celtic cross reading, which is 10 cards, or you can ask me 3 questions, and I use 3 cards per question. So that's 9 cards, or I can channel your higher guidance, or maybe God directly for you. Maybe you want to talk to your dear departed Aunt Edna, because maybe you have a few questions and she was the smartest person you knew. If your deceased relatives are available or your ascended masters, I can channel them for you personally. Let me have 1 hour to show you the future in your next chapter of your book of life. Readings are $75, and it takes me an hour to an hour and a half to complete. And for this price, you will also be hooked up to the healing grid around the planet for free, which means yours truly, me, I will be giving you Reiki 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. All you have to do is let me know. metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com, and we will explore your future together.